This is part 2. Well, not quite of my life story, but my crafty life story. So, well, what happened when I had to sell the shops? My mum and dad were ill and subsequently passed away. So one by one we shut the other shops down and it was left with just one. And sadly, it was like a kind of a recession. Nobody was knitting and nobody was crocheting. At the time I was going through a divorce and I couldn't afford to carry on paying the payments on my house and paying the payments on the shop because we owned the shop. And so there was like a mortgage on it. And thinking back, you know, if it had been the days when there were web pages or there was eBay, things like that, I could have probably carried on, you know, through selling through the internet. But back in the day, I mean, the internet was in its infancy and, you know, to have a web page would have just been like beyond me at all. I didn't even own a computer back in the day. So anyway, sadly, because of all the problems with mum and dad passing away and different things, I decided I would sell the shop and try to get myself a job where I would only have to provide for myself and my house and my son at the time. And so that's what I did. So I did get a job working at the Department of Works and Pensions in the job centre. And as I said before, nobody wore crochet, nobody wore knitted, and I just didn't do anything like that for a good 10 years or so. Anyway, when I had to retire, you know the story about me back and my ill health and different things like that. I'm not going to go into that. But I had to retire through ill health, really. But I was 60 when I retired. So after I'd done a few little bits and pieces in the house like you do, I started to get bored. And I thought, well, I'm not going to sit here just whiling my time away waiting for my spinal operation. I thought, I've got to do something. I know, I'll start knitting, start crocheting, start knitting again. So I did, I started knitting again, and then when I had my back operation, I couldn't really knit because it was like the angle I was at in the chair and, you know, the pressure it was putting on my spine. So I picked up the crocheting again. And, of course, pension in the UK is probably like pensions all over the world. It isn't much. So I was beginning to think, well, I can't get a part-time job because I can't do much with my spine. What can I do? So I thought, I'll do some craft shows. That was how I started. I'll do craft shows. Big disaster. I didn't do very well at all. I was lucky if I got my table fare back, you know. That didn't work. So one or two people that I knew started saying, oh, make me this, make me that, make me the other. So I started doing them, and I was charging them not much at all, but I was charging them a little bit for doing them. And wasn't getting very far with anything, and then somebody suggested that I opened up an Etsy shop. So I did open an Etsy shop, and I was with them for quite some time, until all the kerfuffling started a few years back. Well, a couple of years back. And then I decided that I would leave. Yeah. In between times, I'd actually had a couple of places where I'd put my crochet in that were like craft shop type things, but they weren't here. They weren't in Manchester. They were kind of like far away, so I had the problem of trying to get my goods up there. Up to Scotland was the first one I joined. And then the second one was in sort of Todmorden or somewhere around there. But again, I couldn't get my stuff there. They did sell a few things for me. So then I decided to concentrate more on the Etsy. Then as time went by and Etsy's policies changed, blah de blah. I've been into all this before, you know my reasons for leaving. So, I mean, I'd made friends with Sue, as you know. Sue and I were great friends until she moved to Scotland. We're still great friends, but don't see each other. And I made friends with Kelly, and we had similar interests and everything like that. Vast age difference between us, but we still have the same thoughts and that. And for a couple of years we thought that we'd like to open our own webpage, we'd like to do something different. So I am useless at anything like that. So Kelly did do all the reading up. She read everything, but again we were like dithering, you know, shall we do this, shall we do that, is it a big move for us, what shall we do? Because Kelly was also on Etsy as well. So anyway, last year we decided we would take the plunge and we would do it, yeah. So poor Kelly got the job of setting up the web page, which she did quite admirably. I was what you call the useless partner. So this is why we decided to come about with the Lancashire Crafty Lasses. And we've got into it all, we've done some photographs, we've done all sorts of things. It's still really very much in its infancy. It's, you know, we're trying to start promoting it, which is why you keep hearing me mention the name, till you probably, oh, she's mentioning that name again. But as you can appreciate, when you're starting off in the business type of thing, it is very difficult to get yourself known, to get yourself promoted. And we do rely a lot on word of mouth and, you know, people saying, hey, you know, Jan and Kelly have got a site if you're interested in crochet or whatever. So, you know, everybody's been very, very good and very, very helpful in this matter. And I do hope you continue to do so, because we would like to be, not quite a household name, but we would like to be a little bit, you know, further up the rung. We've still got ideas, lots of ideas that we want to do to start promoting, you know, our things. Kelly is doing more designing. She's doing like the videos where she's doing tutorials. I am pretty rubbish at doing any tutorials. I'll hold my hand up. I crochet in the UK fashion, so I would have a real lot of difficulty in calling things double crochets when to me they're trebles, yeah. And also, I don't have the equipment, I don't have the patience, I don't have whatever. And I don't think my back would stand up to being in one place while I made a video. But there are lots of other things that we could do and that we're trying to do. As you know, I've said many, many times, I would dearly love that there was an arts and crafts shop in Manchester, that was a concession shop that sold things, you know, for a commission, that sold things that people had made, you know. Not just crochet, I mean they could sell artwork, pottery, everything. But that hasn't come to anything. Sadly, craft fairs are just not my forte. I don't have transport, neither does Kelly. And to be honest with you, the kind of things we sell or, you know, are making are a little bit large for craft fairs. Craft fairs, people want booties, amigurumis, little things like that that cost a few pounds. And our things cost a lot more than that because they're, well, some of them are works of art, let's just say. I would like to do more designing. I'm very boho, very sort of hippie type, but I'm not sure whether that would be what would sell, so I'm having to tone down my hippie tendencies and try to make things that are more saleable. But as I say, we've got lots of things in the pipeline that we want to do to make our presence known. And this is the reason why we made the web page, the shop, Lancashire Crafty Lasses, which I'll put a link. Nothing like blowing my own trumpet, I'll put a link down below. So this is where we're at the moment. I'm still crocheting and things for the shop, as is Kelly. Kelly is designing patterns and making tutorials. She's just done one for knitted socks and she's put the pattern up for sale. She's the one who's selling the patterns, not me. Again, writing patterns is just not my thing. So, if you've got any sort of ideas on how we can promote ourselves, just please let me know. You know, I'm open to any kind of suggestions. But craft fairs, no, they're not for us. You know, we've decided they're not for us. We'd have to get transport there. We'd have to hire the table. And what we are selling really is a bit too large for these tables. We don't do little bitty things, yeah. So that's what we're wanting at the moment. We're wanting ideas on how we can promote, how we can put our things in a concession shop, how we can update, revive, promote our webpage. We would greatly value your ideas about these things, because we're not too big-headed that we can't take ideas, you know, on board. We've got like lots of ideas in the pipeline. We're always like bouncing ideas backwards and forwards between us, and so this is where we're up to at the moment. So I think that's more or less all we've got to say, except we are happy to take orders. If we don't want to do them, we will tell you, because there are certain things we won't want to do. But you're always welcome to ask. We'll give you a price, we'll give you whatever, and tell you anything you want to know. So don't be afraid to get in touch with us through the webpage. And hopefully you'll see more of us when I'm showing things that I'm going to put on. I have been missing for a lot of January, February, because I think a lot of you know I suffer from SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder. And when the sun's not shining, I just lose all whatever oomph. I lose my crojo completely. So I'm still waiting to get lessons from Kelly on how to put things on the webpage, because that is the bit that's letting me down at the moment. But I've got lots of things that you've not seen. Yeah, lots of things that are going to go in the shop that you haven't seen. So please, if you're interested, please keep looking, because hopefully from now on there's going to be things going on each week. So thank you for your time. If you stuck around with me this long, then, you know, congratulations. And I hope that these videos have not put you off. We'll be back to normal videos. Well, I will anyway, Kelly will anyway. Be back to normal videos after these two. It's just that I just thought that I would do some explanations. You know, behind the scenes, what makes me tick, why I'm doing these things, what for, you know, things like that. People are always interested, I think, in what goes on behind the scenes, aren't they? If you'd like to know more about what goes on behind the scenes, then feel free to ask. And hopefully I'll do more videos. If you want to know videos of how I think things up, how I do things, then, you know, let me know, and I'll do my best to make a video about that. But in the meantime, the sun's shining, but it's freezing, which is why I'm in my coat. If you can see, I'll turn it around so maybe you can see that the weather is beautiful out there, but freezing cold. Paris is still on guard by the window there. Take it up where you can see her head. There she is. I plan to use her more, you know, to put things on for display. I actually want to do a catwalk, you know, where I'm modelling some of the things, Kelly's modelling some of the things. If you think there's something that you would like to see, then let me know. But that's what we do have planned. As you know, last year I did a rail outside on the deck where I was showing everything, and that seemed to go down quite well. So yeah, as soon as the weather improves, that's what I'll be doing. So thank you for your time, thank you for watching. If you're still here, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.